Hey there, friends and enemies. JoPaWrites here once again, and today I have another episode of the Writer's Thoughts. This is your favorite podcast where we talk about all those geeky, nerdy gaming stuff, streaming, comic books, all that kind of great things that you love, and so do I. And today is a very, very special one. As most of you know, I've been doing a charity event for GuardiansMH on the Twitch channel. It's been absolutely amazing. The support for it has been fantastic. And today, we have Joe and Matt from Guardians, and I want to say thank you so much for coming on today. I love what you guys are doing. I'm so happy to be able to support you guys over there. How about you introduce yourselves? Tell us a little bit about what you guys are doing over there, and yeah, get the ball rolling.
Right on, man. Thanks for having us on. I'm wicked excited, and thank you so much for this week with the charity streams that you've been doing. It's absolutely fantastic, and it's always like mind-blowing every time somebody wants to help us, by supporting us doing charity fundraisers and events and streams and stuff like that. And it really does help pay it forward because it goes right into our programs and right out to trying to make a positive impact across the gaming community as much as possible. But just to kick it off, my name's Joe. I'm the founder and executive director of the 501c3 nonprofit GuardiansMH. Stands for Guardians Mental Health. We are focused with spreading mental health awareness throughout the gaming community in a safe and inclusive atmosphere. And we also have many programs underneath us, including our mental health kit program is just another way for us to go forward and try and make that positive impact in the gaming community for the better for everybody. And it's just been an amazing journey so far.
That's fantastic.
It really has. And I am Matt. I am a mental health professional within GuardiansMH. I am also the advocacy director. I almost forgot my title for a second. For GuardiansMH. It's been a freaking wild ride, actually. We've been busy, but for the most part, thank you for the support that you've been doing the whole stream this week. It's been amazing. We still sort of get goosebumps whenever wait, they want to stream for us? They're going to do a charity stream for us? What the? We still kind of get those little chills, but
it's surreal.
Yeah, it really is. And I've only been here, I'll be honest. I've found the group. I found Guardians. Now it's been a full year, which is scary as crap. A friend of mine met Joe at PAX East, and she gave me, her name is Lynn, she gave me your card, Joe, and then I just hopped right into the Discord and did what everybody hates. I just DM'd everybody, and I was like, hi, I want to help.
That's a true story.
Here's my credentials. I want to help. And here we are today.
Yeah. Well, I guess sliding into the DMs to help out is a lot different than hopping in there to self-promote and just trying to step ladder your way in content creation or something like that. So I don't think anyone minded if I were to guess. And it's funny that you mentioned PAX East because I actually met Joe a couple years ago at PAX East. We hung out. We had one of the craziest times. For those of you Destiny fans, we hung out with My Name is Bife himself. It was surreal. We hung out on the rooftops of these Boston bars in Titan bubbles. No lie, they were these plastic bubbles that looked like Titan bubble from Destiny, and it was the craziest thing. So for me, knowing Joe for a while, even as he got this whole thing kicked off and being able to contribute in whatever way I can. I've done not only this stream, but in the past I did a block on one of your streams on one of the on you guys' channel, and it's been absolutely my pleasure. I'm so excited to have you on and to be able to talk about this. Now, what was the driving factor for you guys kicking this off, Joe, as far as Guardians MH, and also Matt, as far as getting into the industry? Like, Joe, you can start, but I want to hear from both of you on why this is such an important topic for you guys and what really motivates you guys.
Sure. Yeah. The idea came across probably about 5 years ago now. Me and an old buddy were talking. We used to do a lot of charity streams for other organizations that made just like yourself, Jopa, when you volunteered several times for the Stack Up booths and other booths on top of that. So we always got together with whatever gaming group we were with and supported, those like organizations. And the idea got tossed to me of starting to do something with mental health. And it was already a passion of mine because I suffered from anxiety and I was medicated for a couple of years because of it. And I know how much that impacted me. And I've always been a very empathetic person. And it really spoke to me with doing something at the beginning like that. So already we started with reaching out and creating a sort of peer support, a safe space for people, just a server to on Discord to just try and create that safe space and that inclusive atmosphere for people to come in and not feel judged, not feel like they're going to get kicked out because they opened up or anything like that. We encouraged it. And I spent the better part of that whole entire next year working with people like Young Khan and many people throughout the community that we share to kick off a charity stream that supported one of the mental health organizations that made an impact in the gaming community. And we started off by supporting other organizations. And then after a couple years, probably 2 years, started realizing that we could really bring something to the table that no other organization is really doing. And so we wanted to go forward with doing more. And I really was very passionate about becoming our own 501c3 nonprofit and really put our best foot forward. And it took a lot of work I mean, the 501c3 paperwork is a beast. And that was a hurdle for sure to just try and absorb all that information. And then got with our now lawyers who helped me out a lot by understanding all the lawyer speak essentially and all the forms, and went ahead and got our 501c3 nonprofit status and started creating and releasing our programs that are all free to bring more knowledge and experience, and I guess you would put it, just making, I don't want to sound like a broken record, but just make that positive difference in the gaming community with our programs and stuff. And then last year, actually the last PAX East, I started seeing a thing around the other tables and conventions. We were handing out resources. One of them is how to create your own self-care plan, how to put a toolkit together, talking about the 4 pillars of mental and physical health, how that reflects to you overall for your overall well-being. And I started realizing there was a lot of great resources around, but at the end of the day, it was just a wad of paper in a plastic bag, essentially, where you had to go through, and it was mixes from advertisements down on the show floor to some meaningful resources from the Diversity Lounge that's at PAX. And the idea came with creating a mental health kit that we could hand out from our booths at the conventions or expos, wherever we are, and give people something truly that has value to it, and it has a lot of great meaningful resources in it, and not just printed ones, sensory items as well. And with COVID hitting last year, it really made everything difficult for everybody, and everybody was having a hard time by 8 months in. So we decided to take that next step and offer to send our mental health kits to individuals for free and not charge them a shipping cost, just get the resources and sensory items and everything in their hands to start trying to make as much of an impact as we could for the positive and better for everybody that's cooped up in their houses. At least give them the information and everything that they would need to create a self-care, toolkit right there in front of them, and not have to worry about opening up your wallet to buy a $25-30 mental health kit or something like that, whatever some of these other places charge for kits and stuff. I mean, who doesn't like a little statue of Buddha? But in the end of the day, a little statue of Buddha on my desk isn't really going to help me that much, besides rubbing his belly and giggling a little bit.
Yeah.
So
I can do that to my own belly.
Yeah, I mean, for real. I mean, I can do that all day long. I do that all day long. It's Sunday.
Yeah.
But yeah, and we really started coming out with more and more programs and ways to get mental health resources and crisis contacts and everything to individuals across the gaming community. We also created an in-house, we programmed a bot for Discord. At the beginning, I learned to write Java. You'd be so proud of me.
That's awesome.
Yeah, it was an uphill battle. But then our lead programmer, Cram, in the community, he offered to take it to the next step and then rewrote it in Python, of course. Show off. And then now it's accessible. We have a 24/7 on-demand library of mental health and crisis resources available on Discord, Twitch, and mobile devices. So it's on 3 different platforms, and people can access this library that's all vetted resources. So we did just pull stuff from Google. Every single resource that's in there, we have looked into. We've had our clinical team look into them and make sure that they're all evidence-based and proven to be meaningful resources for people, that they can trust the resource going forward with it, and give them the opportunity to share that on the fly with anybody else that might be struggling. And it really comes in handy when you're on Twitch live and somebody's opening up. You're able to, on the fly, give them resources to a peer support network, a crisis hotline, or whatever might be bothering them. We have everything from, oh God, there's like over 130 resources. I can't sit here. I'll take up all your time saying what's on that. But we ended up creating that, and it's called the real-time support bot. Mm-hmm. And it's really made a huge impact. It's in 800 servers on Discord, almost 70 channels on Twitch right now, and we're looking to do another push on it to get that out. It's also featured in 2 other training programs as a useful tool for people to utilize, again, for free. So, and everything that we're able to do is all directly done by the support of everybody that is supporting us. Whenever somebody donates to us, none of us collect a paycheck. We all do this because we're very passionate about what we do, and we believe in the mission that we set out to do from the beginning. And so every donation that comes in, we're very transparent with everything, and it goes right back out to making a difference for somebody else. Every $10 donation creates a mental health kit to ship to somebody. So for $10, you're able to help fund the items, the printed resources, the sensory items, and the shipping and assembling everything all together. You pay for one person to receive it, and it's really great because we're opening up into the UK and UE within the next month to start getting mental health kits overseas as well. So it's been a really, really fantastic program that we've been going forward with. And I told you, if you let me, I will talk all night. So I apologize.
No, you're good. I'm sure Matt wants to chime in with some of his stuff, but it's very educational. I do appreciate the fact that you're so thorough, because I think there's a lot of questions out there whenever you're raising money for charity, whether how much of the money that's going in is coming out of it? What does it exactly go for? Like, where's everyone?
Oh yeah,
Where those resources
absolutely.
kind of aligning, and being so transparent is so important, and that's one of the reasons. Again, I've known you for a while, so I trust what you guys are doing over there. But for those who might be new and just seeing what you guys are doing, mental health is such a difficult subject to broach, and it's got such a stigma around it at times that I think anytime you have a charity that's focused on that, it's going to get a little extra scrutiny. So you going so in depth is absolutely important, and I think that's I think that's huge. So Matt, why don't you tell us a bit about why you got into your profession in the first place, and then how life at Guardians MH has been since you've joined?
It's very interesting. I go back to my sister. My sister is well, now she's 20. She'll be 22 in a few weeks. Holy crap. But she has Down syndrome. And so I was about 9 when she was born, and there was a whole mess of people that came in and out of the house at the time to kind of just give my parents support, to support her when she was born. And not necessarily just mental health. It was physical therapists were there, early intervention, a lot of stuff like that. And so I remember like being like 10, 11, and just kind of like asking like, what, who are these people that are helping us? Like, I didn't understand like why there were so many people helping. It didn't make sense to me. Also, growing up in Brooklyn, New York, it still really didn't make sense to me.
Yeah.
I was like, I thought we only look after ourselves. But and then my family sort of explained like, no, these are people that are there to help, do things for her, help her grow and help us grow with her, things like that. So that is the true start to sort of like why I wanted to be in some type of supportive profession. Kind of fast forward to like college, I was going for my bachelor's in psychology, and I was bored, believe it or not. I wanted to do something, and I sent a resume. I sent my resume, which was like nothing at the time, to every place in Staten Island where I live now, to every like private practice, every company, like anything that had to do with psychology. I sent my resume to, like, hey, you want free labor? Because I want experience. I want to do something. One place responded back to me and was like, yeah, we could use a peer in one of our groups. You want to join? And it was this amazing woman. Her name is Joanne Leather, and she wouldn't mind me saying her name out loud because she loves me and I love her. She basically took me under her wing when it came to social work, and showed me everything that could be done, where I could work, what I could do. And she was amazing. And we actually wrote a paper together. It got published, and fast forward, graduated with a master's in social work, got my license, and have been loving this amazing field of mental health because it just allowed me to sort of give back in a sense.
Yeah.
And for a long while, I did work with developmentally disabled population to really just honestly give back for the help that my sister received when she was younger. And I don't do that anymore, unfortunately. I will get back to that eventually in my career. It just took me in a different path.
Yeah.
But that was my true start. And like I said, I met up with Guardians about a year ago, thanks to PAX East. Believe it or not, didn't actually see them at PAX East, which is the funny part of the story. My friend gave me the business card like that Sunday when the convention was closing, so I didn't even get a chance to even see the booth. And then I reached out that Monday and was like, "Hi," and it's been a whole new world that I've never known. So another story, another thing that I've said on our podcast multiple times on stream. I've always been into Destiny. It was like the one game that I go back to. I stopped playing it for like 3 months, and then I'm like, you know what? My Guardian needs a makeover.
Yeah.
So I would just log back in and get new gear, put every shader on. And I tried one time to like be in a guild and try a clan rather, and try to, do the raids and things like that. And for lack of a better word, it sucked. Nobody was helpful.
Yeah.
Nobody. I was ridiculed for the gear that I have.
Yeah.
So I stopped and I just played solo. Didn't do trials. Didn't do any raids, and I stopped playing again. Then all of a sudden, I meet up with Guardians, and now there's like 20 people who want to help me.
Yeah.
Get Whisper. And 20 people who are like, yeah, no, we'll run you through a dungeon, we'll run you through a raid, let's go. So like that right there, like it was the positive introduction to the Destiny community, and then therefore into the video game community.
Yeah.
Like all the things that I know now about like Twitch and Discord, honestly, are thanks to Joe and thanks to everybody else on the team, because I knew nothing.
I mean,
and it's just been a wild ride.
Yeah, that's crazy, and that's typically how it runs in every game, right? You find early on when you're playing, you either find people that are helpful and willing to support you and help you grow as a player, or in a clan or whatever the case may be, or you run into the opposite, and that bad taste that those other people can bring into your mouth just can ruin the game for you almost, because now you give up on some of the best content the game has to offer. And I think that goes back to the mental health stuff. It's like you have a lot of people who either it's a superiority thing or whatever the case may be, but there's a lot of in the gaming community and gaming culture, it's really easy to put people down and try to drag them down, tear them down, whatever the case may be. You hear the phrase, oh, you wouldn't have survived in those old Call of Duty lobbies or whatever the case may be. But that's the reason a lot of people aren't playing as much as they might otherwise, And I think it's really important to kind of change that stigma and get people on the right path and just being positive and supportive. And I think what you guys are doing, the space that you guys created within Discord originally and now growing much beyond that, is so important. And I think it's something that your bot is huge for a lot of people. And I think I'm just excited to see it grow from here and where you guys can take it. So that being said, what are you guys looking to do in the future? What can you do? I know you guys have the kits. You're expanding over to the EU with the kits. One, I'd love to hear some of the things that come in those kits. And then two, what are you guys looking to do in the future beyond just the kits and what you're doing now? Like what are your ambitions with GuardiansMH?
So the kits are amazing. They basically, in each kit, you're going to get at least one fidget item. You're going to get a coloring book. So this is where Joe actually shines the best, because he's much bigger into the art world than I might be. But this coloring book is curated by members of the Destiny, artists of the Destiny community.
Okay.
And they have put in their own time and effort into making these amazing amazing coloring books. Probably shouldn't be saying this, but I've stolen at least one or two just for me, because
I knew it.
Yeah. the artwork in them is just fantastic alone. So that is included in the kits, and it's not and not all the content, not all the artwork in the coloring book is Destiny related. We've had a lot of Pokemon actually go in there. There's a great picture of Goku and of Fox that I love. And it rotates though, so like there'll be, each kit is unique in the sense that there might be a different coloring book with different images. There might be a different fidget item. Like literally right now I am playing with one of the fidget links that come in there, and I've been playing with it the whole time. You will also get game codes to a couple of different things. There will be a game from either from Tiny Build. It's going to be a random game. Mm-hmm. From that developer, which is amazing. They did Hello Neighbor, which is a really unique game.
Yep.
They also have, you'll also get in there a game known as Plane, which is created by our good friend Krish and his development team, and it's for sake of time. It is the most beautiful meditation game I have ever seen. You have a companion with you. You're basically in the woods, and each time that you meditate, each time that you complete sort of this, one of the tests there, the area around you grows, and it becomes even prettier, to be honest. So that's included. A link to a mobile self-care game known as Amaru. That game is just that game is amazing. The mascot is this little I think it's a dragon. Joe, correct me if I'm wrong. What is Amaru?
Amaru is Amaru. They kind of look like a winged cat.
Okay.
Kind of think of like a Pokemon type deal. But the great thing is we wanted to include a game because the mental health kits are focused on supporting gamers before, during, and after gaming sessions. So to keep it the focus on gaming, we included a free game for somebody to download. Now, the unfortunate thing about that is it's too difficult to nail down PlayStation, Xbox, or PC. So we do offer a free download for a PC game, but we also wanted to have that mobile game as well. That way, everyone can at least get a game out of the kit as well. So it brings a lot of value to the kits as well, because Tiny Builds is one of the largest indie publishers in the world. And they've been so supportive with providing us codes for several games to put into the kit. And it's just, a lot of people really enjoy having that opportunity to explore a new game. And, there's a free game in here. It really surprises some people. So they're really great. And we try to rotate out resources, like one of the grounding or breathing exercise cards. Between every 50 to 100 kits, and as well as the sensory items. People really love the fidget links we have, but we are always looking to put in I don't want to say a better sensory item, because they all are really amazing. I don't even want to tell you how many we tested. But we have you ever seen the Pop Bubble sensory pads? They're really cool.
Big on TikTok. It's big on TikTok.
Yeah,
for a while.
I've seen them on TikTok. I was actually going to chime in and say, wait a minute, that sounds like a TikTok thing.
We will be having those in our kits starting by the end of April. So those will rotate in as well. And we have a few other really great ones coming in as well to rotate in there as well. So the kits are just encompass so many just different avenues with providing resources and having real value to it. This isn't something you're going to go down to your local crisis center or anything and get a kit from them. From them you'll get a folder with some pamphlets and stuff in it. We curated everything with our clinical team and then collaborating mental health professionals to make sure that everything going into these is truly meaningful resources that people can utilize right out of the kit. So we also include journals and pens in there. The coloring books are fantastic. We have 4 different versions of it now, so we're able to rotate those in as well. Each of them have just amazing art in them, and
I'm
you can
missing
only get
volumes 3 and 4, by the way. Just to let you know.
Well, you'll be getting that here soon. We got to do a meetup here soon, anyways.
We do. You know, and the mental health resources themselves, again, too, curated by either us or created or worded by the mental health professionals on the team, myself included. And we recently just had in our last run of kits, well, a few more than one run, I should say, a workout that was included and made. Joe, I'm awful. Please remind me the individual's name that did that for us.
You might know him on Twitter and socials by Chicken Fingers.
Yeah. Oh,
yes.
I love that guy.
He is a physical education teacher. So we reached out to him because one thing we saw what was missing from the mental health kits was having the physical activity aspect of it, because mental health isn't just mental. You know, your overall well-being comes from mental and physical. So the better you feel physically, the better your mental health will be. You know, you'll be able to think more clearly. It goes under the 4 pillars of mental and physical health. So we got with him and asked him if he could put together a workout program that anybody could do in a close area. That way a gamer could get up in the middle of matches and do an exercise or promote that daily activity at least, and they could follow this and have a start and see what they could do. And it comes in a nice booklet, and you can look through it, and there's great imagery to help walk you through it. So you have the visual aids in there as well. So we really did try to put our best foot forward with incorporating that in there as well, to have a full spectrum mental health kit for people.
That's
and
go ahead.
No, I'm sorry. He went above and beyond too. Like he pictures, step by steps on how to do these. Like, it was. Shout out to Chicken Fingers, because that was amazing.
Yeah, like I said, I've known him for a bit. He's fantastic. And it's interesting because one of the best things I ever did for my Twitch channel is add channel point redemptions for workouts. And
nice.
I pretty much every day the chat will like to punish me, and I'll do workouts, whether it's squats or jumping jacks or push-ups or whatever the case may be. And all that, I think, like you said, is so important and often neglected in the gaming community, especially. So that's super important. And this whole mental health discussion has become more important to me because my wife currently deals with anxiety and panic attack issues at times. And it's been so enlightening to do my research and learn more as I try to help her. And we try to negotiate that, because I've never had to deal with it myself, but it's almost more frustrating watching somebody else, you know what I'm saying, deal with the stuff and not be able to do anything about it. So that's been a huge thing. And I think I have seen the same thing with her, is that when we're consistently able to be active and do active stuff, it definitely helps her mental state. And I think it all kind of ties in together, and it's that's fantastic. I'm glad Chicken Fingers is working with you guys, because like I said, he's an amazing dude. And I think that's really awesome. So now going forward, what do you guys bring in with GuardiansMH going forward? What are you guys what's the next step for you all?
Yeah, so we got a couple of things kind of going on right now. The one thing that we are actively doing that we just announced today, we are working with a video game developer known as Social Cipher. They are a group of individuals who are primarily focused within the neurodivergent group and population, and they're creating a game known as Ava to not only be geared and have representation towards the neurodivergent community, but it's also a tool for clinicians who work with that population, to provide them not only with a game, but it provides such fantastic data for a clinician to see what a particular individual might need. And I'm still in shock to this day that they reached out to us, asking us, just as like a general collab sort of email. And I got the first initial pleasure to talk with them and just to learn about what they were doing. And I fell in love instantly as a mental health professional, as a social worker. I was like, I love all of this. They brought up an idea of having a specific kit for a neurodivergent population, right? And the kit itself is going to be geared towards specific resources, specific needs, specific mental health struggles, and how to cope and how to better manage them, but within that light of neurodivergency. And we were, in a sense, like honored. And then they were also surprised, like, oh my God, we're actually going to do this? And I was like, no, this is happening. And I think like a day later, I spoke to Joe and he was like, yeah, no, set this meeting up ASAP. Let's do this. And we met, and they've shared with us such fantastic artwork too, that those who get the kit are going to be very surprised that their own graphic and lead artists have donated their artwork and time into the coloring book. That aspect is going to be amazing. And, myself, other mental health professionals too, will be working on obtaining resources and just some some coping skills, and discussing a lot of things that go on within that population. And that in and of itself not only has taken up a lot of time for all of us, but it's just been a pleasure to work with, because the team at Social Cipher is amazing. And we've been working hand in hand and running everything by them, talking with them. The communication there has been phenomenal. And that's just super exciting. Our charity stream that's going to be running next weekend is actually looking to fund those kits. Because again, we're keeping them free. We are keeping them available to, we're keeping for right now domestic. But if the program grows and it continues, it's something to explore. But that's what's going to help fund and make a limited run of these kits. And I know I'm super excited and can't wait.
Oh yeah, it's really great. I mean, going back to the beginning with starting out doing this, there's just in the United States, there's over, well, I don't know what the numbers are now after with COVID factoring in with everybody being locked indoors, but go back to 2019's statistics, there was 67 million gamers in the United States alone. And how many of those, 1 in 5, suffer daily from some sort of mental illness, condition, or affliction, from depression to anxiety to you name it. There's millions of people. So it's a huge percentage of gamers that keep quiet and let all these things fester inside them and don't take that initial step with seeking any sort of help or assistance for what might be bothering them, and providing resources and easy access to those resources, free programs and stuff like that people can take advantage of, and also mental health kits that can guide them to creating their own self-care plan and getting those resources sent to them where they're comfortable, so they don't have to go out anywhere. They can be home, request a kit, have it sent to them, and get really valuable kit right for them that is just filled with resources that are focused right on what what might be bothering them. And the one with the neurodiversity is such a big thing, and so many gamers too. It's going to be fantastic to offer 2 different mental health kits to the gaming community, and really excited for that. There's a lot going on right now. Some things we can't talk about.
Of course.
We're going to continue with going forward with partnering up with PAX conventions.
Yeah.
So we'll be going to more conventions throughout the U.S. So we're not just going to be going to East. We'll be going to that was sadly canceled this year, but we're planning on going to West and Unplugged, and another convention that we're working on right now with being a part of as well. That's really excited for this one, because it's a very difficult one to get into. And going forward towards the end of this year, one of the great things that we're going to be starting to offer people is training and courses. So people will be able to sign up for training courses, from suicide prevention to crisis intervention, and Matt's putting some together for peer support, and then ones that are focused on streamers themselves, what they might encounter and how to have those conversations, or how to guide an individual to proper resources if they tend to open up in your channel. So we're working on a lot of different things to just bring more to the gaming community as a whole, to give people that opportunity to have that safe atmosphere for them to learn a little bit more and make a difference.
Yeah, that's so important, and it's amazing to see where you guys have come from to where you are now and where you guys are going. Like I've said, I probably will repeat that 100 times between this podcast and the streams that I've been doing. But
oh yeah, man, you remember all the way back at the beginning when back in the day we were just Same 14 project.
Yep.
I mean, we had a humble beginning with just having that safe, inclusive environment for people and creating a peer support network where one didn't exist. And now we're partnered with Discord and several other organizations and studios, and we're growing exponentially and really putting our best foot forward, like I said earlier, and really trying to give it our all to make a difference between the gaming community.
Yeah, no, it's crazy. I'm very, like I said, I'm very thankful for what you guys do. Now, with everything that you guys are doing currently, what is the kind of the one thing that you see, like, say somebody wants to look out for with their friends, or more so with themselves? What are some things just to kind of watch for, or what would be the reasons that you might want to order a kit? Like, where are there any kind of indications there that you're like, hey, maybe this kit would be great for me, or maybe reaching out to professionals would be great for me? We don't want to give out obviously any advice or anything like that, and I know that's super important not to do, but I also know that just a little bit of information on triggers or on what to kind of look out for is important, because there's so many people that I've seen who get help far later than they should, because they just don't know that what they're going through is not something they absolutely have to be going through at the time. They don't need to suck it up and just deal with it, you know? So what would be some things that you see from gamers specifically that might help them, that they should be pointed kind of in you guys' direction, or in mental health professionals' direction in general?
Yeah. What I will say on that is, if we're talking specifically for gamers, if you're losing interest in a video game, or if that feeling that you got from initially playing video games of any kind is starting to drift or dwindle, that's typically a sign that maybe some things are not okay, and that's when it's appropriate to maybe talk to somebody. I'd be it'd be wrong if I didn't bring up, if there's ever any type of, negative thought or a thought of wanting to hurt yourself or hurt, or anything like that, that's when it's inherently important to seek out immediate support. And I think outside of that, this whole past year has been atrocious, and I think everybody in some way, shape, or form has been affected by COVID and everything that's going on. And I think everybody needs a kit. I really do, because of just being able to cope with this. Everybody's lives have changed so dramatically, so drastically, and I think that's really what makes it important to request or seek out support. Obviously, and also if you're with people, and let's say somebody at home has been kind of saying like, "Hey, you okay? Everything been all right? We've noticed a couple of things," sort of, and it's somebody that you trust. Listen to them.
Yeah.
Listen to your body too. Our body, when we're not doing okay, it tends to revolt, gets angry. Listen to what's going on inside, and if it's not right, or if it's not what you want it to be, make a phone call. Reach out to someone. Reach out to us. Reach out to a friend. Reach out to someone. There's always somebody who wants to listen and to help out.
Yeah, that's great. Joe, do you have anything to add?
No, I think Matt nailed every point perfectly. There's really not much more to add outside that without getting way in depth.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah, which is what I'm trying to carefully avoid.
Yeah.
Avoid.
I know it's always a tough
it's
line to walk.
It is, but I think just with that, it's just super important to check in with yourself. And this isn't, therapeutic at all. This is just, I think, what anybody would say. Check in with yourself. And, if you're not okay with, how you're feeling, if it doesn't align with what you believe, then it's time. Then it's time to take a change. And you know what? And it's okay that it's time to make a change. It's okay that, you got to talk to somebody, or you got to get some support. It is very much okay. I'm going to keep repeating that because a lot of people don't like it. A lot of people won't speak to somebody because they're afraid of what might happen or how they're going to be looked at. And that's the stigma that we're necessarily trying to fight here. But if nothing else from this podcast here, just it's okay. And it's better that you talk to somebody now instead of, JoPa, like you were saying before, waiting so long. It's better to start now.
Yeah. No, I agree with you 100%. And I'm glad to hear that. I think there's something that everybody can take away. And I know just in my relationship with my wife, with my kids, it's easy to sit back and be like, I'm fine. And I'm going to worry about everybody else's goings on, right? And make sure that they're okay. Mm-hmm. But then I feel like that's when it's most important to kind of check in on yourself, because you're giving so much of your capacity, yourself to others, that it can weigh you down and you just don't even realize it. So, I think that's definitely important.
I work primarily, my work right now is with addiction. So I work with adults and even adolescents who are suffering from substance use. And that was one of the big things we used to say kind of when I worked in a rehab facility. If your main focus is somebody else and it's not you, you're avoiding what might be going on. You're looking away. You're looking outward instead of inward.
Yeah.
Right. So if we're which it's, and obviously, yes, it's good to, check in on everybody else, make sure the people around you that you care about are okay. Absolutely. There's nothing wrong with that. But if we are going to a what's the word? Like if we're going too above and beyond, at times it could mean we're avoiding looking inward and not addressing what might be going on with us. So we distract ourselves with others. So again, if we're doing things that, weren't necessarily normal for us at the same time, again, that's just another sign.
Yeah, that's kind of crazy because I think it's something a lot of people don't think about, and it's funny that you mentioned the substance abuse stuff, and that's where your focus is now, because that's something that I have dealt with, not personally, but my mom, my brother, my dad, all of them had substance abuse problems growing up, and so like that's definitely a trigger, I think, because I see it and it's like now I know I'm like more sensitive to, more aware of those kinds of issues, and I don't think it's something that and this goes back to my time in the army, that people consider a problem until it's a heavy duty problem. You know what I'm saying? Like we used to have a lot of people, because I worked in the legal office when I was in the army, and so many times we would have people who would be like missing formations and missing work and all this kind of stuff, and they'd be like, nothing's going on, but they've been drinking a lot or something like that, or dealing with other heavier drugs and stuff. So it's so much of this stuff I think is all connected and related. And like Joe said at the beginning, I've worked with the two charities that I've kind of really focused on for a long time is you guys, and then Stack Up, because as a veteran, those people are important. And they oftentimes kind of have a cross section with you guys, because they do also focus a lot on the mentality of soldiers coming back from overseas or after they get off of their service and everything. So it's just all connected, and it's so crazy to think about.
Yeah, you're right. And actually, tell you the truth, touching on that for a second, with our mods in our partner Discord server, when you come in to our server and you're looking to be a part of a peer support network and there are find resources, all of our mods are certified in mental health first aid training and some other trainings as well, to better equip them for having difficult conversations, to assisting people and knowing what to say when somebody reaches out. So everybody you talk to, if they don't have formal schooling, as in not a professional already, from a counselor to social worker to psychologist or whatever, we make sure that everybody is at least equipped. And one of the things that we're going to be offering to our team members going forward, probably by the end of this week, is we're working with Psych Armor, and they are another organization that actually helped train the team members over at Stack Up to have those interactions and that support that they give within their channels to veterans and military people. And we're bringing that same training over to our team members as well, to better equip them for when military or veterans or anybody else that might be related, they have that training to interact with the person and understand them as well. And it's just another way for us to pay it forward to our team members as well, and give them opportunities to learn themselves as well.
Yeah, that's
I'm really excited for that.
That's awesome.
Me too.
Obviously, that's a cause that's near and dear, and obviously, all the reasons you guys bring up are just kind of goes back into why I kind of fully believe in what you guys are doing, and why I'm so thankful for everything. And the other issue that I've seen as a streamer, as a content creator, is that oftentimes we're faced with folks who might be looking for or might need an outlet, and none of us are really prepared for that, right? And it's like you're trying to entertain, you're trying to keep it light, keep it fun, and then someone comes to you, whether it's in a stream or in a Discord. So that goes back to the bots you guys have and the resources that you have, and just making sure to have those resources on hand, because I mean, it's happened to me a couple times where I've been in the middle of a stream and someone has like clearly been upset or frustrated and is just venting, and you try to keep the conversation going, but it's almost like before, and this was like a year or two ago, you know. So it's like I not having those resources, not having the idea on where to send them, made it very awkward and very difficult, because I'm trying to juggle both things. So all the things that you guys are bringing to the table, I think, are absolutely necessary, especially as we see Twitch over the course of the pandemic has blown up, right? It was huge before, but now it's like another level. And so all of these resources, you have people who will inevitably look for some kind of support, and having something there that's easy to access and won't make it feel like you're neglecting the person or shrugging them off, I think is absolutely huge. And I'm excited to see that evolve on top of the kits that you guys provide and everything else as well.
So we actually, it kind of in response to that too, and this is unfortunately like another shameless plug, and I apologize, but because of everything you just said, we partnered up with Geek Therapeutics, Geeks Like Us, and Games and Online Harassment, right? And we created this streamer mental health kit, and it tackles everything that you just said, because there is a huge, and I won't go into it too deep because I don't think it's fair to go into parasocial relationships without Dr. Goku here, because he knows about it so much more than I do.
Yeah.
But the TLDR of parasocial relationships is sort of this one-way relationship where a person can become almost like attached. Like you're, as a streamer, you're the friend, and as a friend, you're going to receive, you're going to be the support in a sense, or an individual might feel comfortable enough, I should say, to be able to say that to you in a stream. And you're right, any streamer is not, I don't think anybody realistically, especially in that mode of entertainment, is ready to be like, oh, okay, you might be saying some things in chat about anxiety or depression, or even like other major mental illness that I don't know much about, not sure how to handle this. And that's okay, because nobody would. Even if I were to be streaming and as a mental health professional, I'd be like caught off guard, like, what do I do here? So we partnered up with those organizations and we created the Streamer Mental Health Kit that goes so in depth, and the knowledge behind it is the research and just the information in it is well worth the price of admission. And it's a one-time for a full year's worth of training. It's $35, and you basically get the skills and the knowledge that you would need to be able to de-escalate that situation, and while still acknowledging, validating, and assisting that individual, get what they need at that moment without interruption to a stream. And being able to, that was like one of the first major things I helped work on with Guardians, and it was amazing. And we were able to basically include our RTS bot with it, our peer support model, and basically saying like, hey, you know what, talk to them for a little bit in chat and funnel them to our peer support network, and we will assist them from there. And it's been amazing. And we've seen a lot more individuals in the server. We're over 2,000 right now, and which is incredible. We, to the point where we just put out a call for new mods because we need some more people to help us out. But that was amazing. And I'm ranting, and I apologize. I'm very similar to Joe. If you let me go, I'll go. but for the exact reason that you just said is the reason that this whole program was created.
Yeah, that's absolutely phenomenal. I think I really hope that more folks are able to get their hands on these resources and the word spreads for you guys, because again, it's a scenario where I've seen it time and again, and you've seen people giving mental health advice when they're not a professional, or trying to be, oftentimes trying to do the right thing, but not knowing that they're not actually helping the situation by doing what they think is best, but they're untrained to handle it, you know? So having these resources available, having a bot available, these kits available, everything like that, all coming together to kind of be a one-stop shop for people who need this stuff in their lives. And like you said, most people won't realize it, but everybody needs this in some way, shape, or form. Everyone's going to be impacted by it, whether it's personally or adjacent, someone next to them, someone with them, someone they love, through streaming, through viewing Twitch, being on Twitter even. You just see so much of it on a day-to-day basis, and not having the resources to handle it is so frustrating. So again, thank you guys for everything that you guys do. Is there anything else you guys wanted to add or touch on, maybe you missed, that you wanted to kind of hit before we take off?
It's always been a group effort. One of the things with taking this on, it's not a one-person job. So everybody that volunteers with us, from our mods, staff members, our directors are fantastic. And even our ambassadors, we have stream ambassadors that are out there promoting positive mental health awareness and, safe streams for people to come and hang out in. Everybody is absolutely fantastic, and everybody really brings something to the table to make this all possible. I mean, if it wasn't for everybody, we wouldn't be where we are. So I'm really thankful for the team that we have, and everybody that is coming forward to help support us as well. And everybody that does support us, you're beautiful. You're absolutely amazing. You really are. Everybody that supports us really are the ones that allow us to do what we do. And thank you from the bottom of my heart. Thank you very much.
I can't say it any better. I can't. Like, there's nothing even more that I think I could add, because it's all true. If it wasn't for support of others, if it wasn't for the support of even like other streamers, our ambassadors, our just the Destiny community, I go back to that. Like, this is I'm very grateful that I got to see the beauty that is in the Destiny and the video game community, and it shows. And every time we do a charity stream, right, I've been a part of two of them now, and each time I am shook. My wife is next to me. We're either on the phone or we're watching it on my computer, and I'm like, I can't believe this. This is insane.
Yeah.
What is happening? And it's this community has shown time and time again that, one, they are willing to support a people that are in need, and we're glad to be one of the avenues where they could potentially get that help or support that they need.
Yeah, that's absolutely phenomenal, and it definitely is the best of the community when you come together and you see these charity streams, because I know everyone that I've been a part of, everyone that I've watched, they're so phenomenal, and just to watch everyone kind of join in on the fun, and you'll see people host raid, all that, showing love. It's amazing, and I'm so glad to see it. Like I said, from the humble beginnings, Joe, Saint 14, and I think at PAX East you were even talking about setting up the corp at the time. So it was like early days, and the growth has been phenomenal. The progress that you guys have made. So yeah, I know you guys have a great community over there, and only upwards from here. I think you guys are gonna continue to do amazing things, and I'm excited to watch it for years to come.
Yeah, and you and me are gonna have to get a drink again when conventions come back.
I love me a good convention, and I will be at any one that you guys can go to if it's at all possible. So if that does work out, 100% we will get a drink and we will link up, and I'll swing by the booth, all that kind of good stuff.
I mean, I'm inviting myself for this drink. I'm coming along.
Absolutely, anytime. I am excited. Obviously, next year once PAX East is back around, I'll be up there for that one for sure. Speaking of New York, you said you're in Staten Island. I'm actually from Orange County, New York. That's where I grew up. So not all that far from you. So I know the Northeast quite well. So I try to head up there as much as possible. But I mean, I hope my wife isn't listening, but I've been trying to wiggle into, okay, if cons are back, PAX West, it's looking mighty tempting. I haven't been to one in a minute, so if I can swing that would be awesome. So
I'm looking to see. If it happens, I'm in. The fact that even before, like, my wife knew that we were potentially going to PAX West, she's like, well, what about the one that happens on the West Coast? Think we could go to that one? She misses them too.
Yeah.
Which is amazing because she's not huge into video games.
Yeah.
But again, it's that community aspect.
Yep.
She loves it. It's a family thing, and that's the reason I love these conventions.
Yeah.
And it's the reason I really, really miss them.
Yeah, no, I could go on for days about conventions, and I love them. And she came with me to PAX East one year, and 4 days. I was there all 4 days, so that was a little bit much for her. But yeah, she mentioned today taking a trip to the Pacific Northwest. So
there you go.
It might be in the cards. So we'll see what happens.
Might be a trip during a certain time where a certain convention's taking place.
Yeah, exactly.
It's purely coincidence.
Yeah, of course. Right. I'm like, well, I mean, for this we could go one day to the convention and then go do like actual sightseeing and stuff. But overall, like I said, thank you guys so much for coming on. This was a bit different from what I normally do, but it's obviously so important to talk about these things and highlight this, and I'm glad I can use whatever platform I have to showcase that. And before we go, let the people know where they can find you on social media, so where they can find the GuardiansMH on social media as well. Like, obviously that's at, but if there's anywhere to look for you guys that you guys are on a lot and spreading resources, go right ahead.
Oh, Matt's good at this part.
Yes. So GuardiansMH pretty much on all socials. So Twitter, Twitch. Come join our partner Discord server at discord.gg/GuardiansMH. I'm doing this from memory. I don't even have the plug sheet on.
Oh, perfect.
And as I say that, I'm going to mess up now. twitch.tv/GuardiansMH. Catch us there for live podcast tapings. Joe plays Animal Crossing, which I know he's loving / hating at the same time. You can find our podcast on Apple Podcasts, iTunes, Spotify, anywhere that you get your podcasts. Just check out our website, guardiansmh.org, because there you'll really find everything that we're doing. Access to the RTS bot is there, because you can use the RTS bot on just a desktop app if you're looking up for resources. So you can check everything out straight from the website. Everything that we're doing is on there, and Twitter. Those are our two biggest sites where we promote everything that we're doing. Joe, what did I miss? I missed something.
No, you missed nothing. You did great, and I am
The best.
so loving Animal Crossing right now.
Don't lie to me.
No, I have to do it. I'm being forced to do it. It was one of the things from our last benefit stream for our mental health kit program.
Yeah.
Back last year, if we hit a certain dollar amount within the first night, I would play Animal Crossing on stream. If we hit our overall goal, and it was like a stretch goal, I would play Animal Crossing every night for a week and stream it. And yeah, that happened.
If I tell you myself and other staff members made sure that goal was reached. We were getting ready to reach into our own pockets and meet this goal just to torture Joe. I mean, just to watch Joe play.
Of course.
Animal Crossing.
The goals are the best thing when you can set up stuff like that. It's all worth it, obviously, in the long run. But the moment of regret afterwards, once you realize what you've done, is it's a thing. It's a thing, and I feel your pain, Joe.
Well, I'll tell you what, the support has been fantastic. A lot of people were posting in like the servers, like, you guys gonna come go play Animal Crossing?
Sure.
The turnout has been absolutely amazing, and it's like everybody's. I swear everybody knows the story with me and Animal Crossing. So, but nonetheless, it's wonderful getting the opportunity to chat with everybody and have a good time. So, and that's what it's all about, and it's been fun. I got my nice little island, my pop tent up. I got a cake, and I started fishing. I'm good to go.
Nice.
But you can find me primarily just on Twitter. I'm rarely on mine. Average Joe 227 is my Twitter handle. You can hit me up there, and feel free to send an email to support@guardiansmh.org if you have any questions, or if you have anything bothering you and you feel like talking, and reach out to us. We're always here to listen.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Oh, thank you guys so much once again. You guys have been amazing. And everybody listening at home, thank you for tuning in, stopping by, and hanging out. My name is JoPaWrites. This has been the Writer's Thoughts, and I hope you have a good one.